On Saturday at Assembly Hall in Bloomington, some Indiana fans wore black shirts to protest Mike Davis's program at Indiana. Davis wasn't at that game. He said he was sick, and his doctors confirmed that. But questions about his absence and a general negativity surrounding the program moved Davis to speak candidly about his potential successor during yesterday's conference call with the media.
Indiana need to have one of their own. They need to have someone that has played here that can so they can embrace them, you know, and they need that. I'm not upset about it. I'm not disappointed about it. You know, I think they need that. I mean, I really do, because these players deserve better. We had a really good thing going this year, a really good thing going, but when you hear what you hear, it doesn't make sense when you one game out of first. I mean, when you rank, does that make sense?
Now, who better to ask about the situation at Indiana than former Hoosiers coach Bob Knight? Or at least that was the thinking when Dana Jacobson spoke to Knight today on Cold Pizza.
I want to ask you about Indiana. Mike Davis yesterday in a conference call.
I have absolutely no interest in talking about Indiana.
You were there for a long time, Coach, and Mike Davis said that this is a school that needs to have one of their own to take over. Oh, Coach, don't take the earpiece out.
Yeah, there it goes. Bob Knight, obviously not interested in discussing the situation. Let's hope C.L. Brown will be more amenable. C.L., the Hoosiers beat writer for the Louisville Courier-Journal. C.L., give us a feel for that conference call. What was your reaction when you heard Mike Davis start talking like that?
Well, a bit of shock, but to put it into context, with the way things have been going in this season, especially the past couple of weeks, there was the threat of a protest before the UConn game that really started following the Minnesota loss. Minnesota hadn't won a game in the Big Ten before beating Indiana by 19. So that kind of, especially with the perceived lack of effort on Indiana's part in that Minnesota game, that kind of enraged a portion of the fan base. So there was one protest supposed to be before the UConn game. Then you had before the Iowa game, there was another protest plan where fans would wear black shirts. They titled it a blackout going into that game to protest Mike. So with the backdrop of all of that going on, Mike was talking about the atmosphere in Assembly Hall and the fan support that kind of teeters. And so he was saying that the question was kind of posed like, what would it take for the fans to embrace somebody at IU, embrace a coach at IU? And Mike was saying that, you know, maybe it will take one of their own. Now, when he said that, I think there was probably a little bit in him too that is just kind of tired. He's maybe feeling the pressure of this school and coaching a big time program.
From afar, it seemed like he's never really gotten quite comfortable there at IU. How would you characterize his tenure there?
I would think that's fair to say. With the 2002 run that they had to the national championship game and lost to Maryland, you would think that maybe that would have been enough, and you would feel like Mike Davis would be in a better situation after that. But following that, the last 2 years they haven't gone back to the NCAA tournament. So that's kind of whatever feelings folks had for Bob Knight and being at Indiana the way that he left, and Mike Davis being hired afterwards. I think the last 2 seasons not making the tournament have hurt Mike Davis more than anything else.
You know, CL, he makes some curious comments at times. I know at one point he said he was not the guy for this job while he had the job. Give us a feel for Mike Davis's personality, because we always see the sound bites, but give us a feel for what's behind that.
Mike Davis, honestly, Mike Davis is a great guy. If you just met him on the street or what have you, he's a real personable guy. Mike Davis is very emotional at times, and he's very honest. If nothing else, he's very honest. So a lot of times where dealing with coaches, you'll get just the cliche, just the sound bite. Mike Davis will tell you what he feels, good, bad, or indifferent. He'll just put it out there. I don't think at times he really filters himself and really thinks about this might have a negative impact or whatever. If he feels it, that's what he's going to go with.
Real quickly, CL, we're talking with C.L. Brown of the Louisville Courier-Journal. Right now, Iowa leading the Big Ten. The former Hoosier Steve Alford running that program. Is he the guy most Indiana fans want running things there in Bloomington?
Well, that's kind of hard to say, too. I think it's very much split. There's a portion of the fan base who would love to see Alford back in Bloomington. But there's also a portion that says, well, Alford hasn't done enough at Iowa to get him this position. This is the first year, if I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think this is the first year Iowa, since he's been there, has really had a lock on first place. And even though there's still a lot of basketball left to be played, Iowa is going to be one of those teams to reckon with. And he hasn't won a Big Ten title since he's been at Iowa. So that kind of plays in with some of the fan base. But overall, I would say if Alford wound up being the guy on down the line, that the fan base would welcome him with open arms.
All right, we shall see how this all pans out. C.L. Brown from the Louisville Courier-Journal. C.L., we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.